Hello everybody. Alright, I decided to go do a little crabbing trip today. I'm gonna be crabbing right off Lake Pontchartrain on the north side by Lacombe and the Big Branch National Wildlife Refuge. I was debating whether or not I was gonna take my my boat out today. I was thinking about doing that, and I was going back and forth where I wanted to go crabbing, and I had the boat pretty much ready to go. I was debating whether I was gonna go crabbing, fishing, or whatever, something. And at the last minute, I just decided to throw everything in the truck and come do a old style crabbing off the side of the road. I used to do this a lot where I lived on the other side of the lake, the South Shore, and we had little honey holes we'd go to. So this ain't my first rodeo with this, but this is my first time. A freaking dove took off. She crapped on my truck. Anyway, this is my first time out here, to come on out here to crab in this area. Do not feed the alligators, that sign says. Yeah, I'm gonna try not to feed them. What happens if they come and bite on my foot? So anyway, beautiful area up in here. I see cars up there already, so there's probably people already crabbing. I tried to get up a little bit earlier. It's a little bit of a hike from my house to here, about 45 minutes. But anyway, I'll get back with y'all when I'm on the water. Well, by the water. By the water. Alright, crabs on. I just put out a couple real quick. Started pulling back. think that's that same crab. I think that's that same little crab. I think that's that same crab. I think that's that same little crab. We could let him down. Way over here. I just saw one. I could have scooped him. Maybe I should have went in the boat, huh? Well, that looks like a crab pulling there. That does look like a crab pulling. Two of them. One little bitty tiny one. Oh, shoot. Caught my shoe. One I might be able to eat. The other one, not so much. Teensy. Alright, we'll try this one again. I think he's pulled off to the side here. No. If you caught small as your thumb good, then I'm doing real good. See? There's a crab in there. Yeah. Right when I got here, it was like on like Donkey Kong, man. Really? I caught like right off the bat. I caught him, but that little bitty. But now it's just nothing but fish. All that fish hitting there. Yeah, I might catch a lot of fish. Put a little shrimp or worm right there, boy. They tearing these chickens up. Yeah.
Started off to go fishing today, went to the bollard water, so low at the bollard down there, I got the boat in.
Well, I was debating whether to go out in my boat today and do this. And I said, shoot, I don't feel like towing it out there, loading it up, yeah, getting all that stuff ready. So let's just throw it in the back of the truck.
Oh yeah, that's why we turn around the bollard. Just grabbing stuff out the back up here, so it's
It might turn on in a little while. If you say, if this is low, if that water starts coming back in, I'm sure they'll turn on. I don't know what the tide's supposed to be doing right now. I don't know. It's got to be moving a little bit more than this, though, because it's just... It's dead, huh? Yeah. I think it's at the rock bottom.
Yeah, that's where they usually close them up pretty good.
Alright, well, I'm going to shut the show down for right now, because there ain't nothing happening. Alright, so I didn't have tremendous success today doing crabs, but I did manage to catch a few, and they are quite small and not plentiful. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna boil them up, and we're gonna cook them up in a special way, a very popular way of cooking them and preparing crabs in southeast Louisiana. Actually, all throughout the country, I believe people love to eat crab cakes. So that's what I'm gonna make today. All right, y'all. Gonna go ahead and get them boiled up. I really don't need the big pot, but I'm gonna use it. And usually I ice them down in make a slush, an ice slush with it, because that helps, that makes them hold their claws. But I really don't care if they lose their claws. I'm gonna be peeling them all right after I cook them. All right, here we go. All right, when you're boiling crabs, crawfish, shrimp, anything like that, there's a few staples you gotta have, unless you just boiling them to make a different dish. But I'm going for some flavor in these, like I would do a normal boil, but I'm not going all full tilt. Usually when you do a big boil and you're gonna have all the fixings, you'd have potatoes, corn, sausage, onions, all of that kind of stuff. You'd have that. But I'm gonna put some Zatarain's crab oil, some salt, some lemon, some garlic powder, some red pepper, cayenne pepper, and I'm gonna put some sausages in there just to eat, because I like them. But I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all how I do all of that. It's very scientific measurements gonna be done here. I just pour some of this in there. You don't need a ton of this for this one. You don't really need a ton of it for any of them, but this is a small boil. Garlic powder to flavor that boiling water up. Some salt. I put a generous amount of salt. I like mine salty flavored. Now the difference between ours and the East Coast, they steam theirs. I don't understand that, but they certainly don't understand us boiling them. But this boil gets into that crab and it permeates throughout the meat, so the meat has the flavor of this boil. Those East Coast people who are around the Chesapeake and up in Maryland and all of that, they get that stuff on their fingers, so they get the flavor of it by licking their fingers after they get that Joe's whatever stuff they put in there. So, you know, to each their own. However they like them. They sure pay a lot for their crabs though. We do too, but they get most of their crabs from us. I do have a commercial crab fishing license. I just haven't had the time to get my traps back in the water. I gotta outfit a lot of them. I squeeze my lemons in there. I don't know if that helps or not, but I do. All right, got the lemons in there, salt, red pepper, garlic powder, and crab oil. Now I'm gonna light the fire. A lot of people make fun of my pot, say it's too small. This pot, I'm 52 years old, and this pot was what my dad used to boil crabs and crawfish and shrimp before I was even born. So you'd have to pry that pot from my cold dead hands. Let's just say that. I love using this pot, and I've cooked many dozens, many hundreds of dozens of crabs and many thousands of pounds of crawfish in that pot. Now I'm gonna go ahead and chop up the sausage. Now that we got the veteran liquid crab oil in there, we got the cayenne pepper, the garlic powder, some salt, and some lemons cut up in there. I'm gonna put a little sausage. That's just a snack for me and my wife later on tonight to enjoy. That's already golden boiling. Dump these in there, but I want to kind of be gentle with it. No, not gentle, but dog it. They got some leaves in this thing, and I don't want to try not to get that into the boil. For about 5 minutes. Not long. Okay, it's been 5 minutes. A little bit of there, about somewhere up in there. So I'm gonna cut it off and pull the top off. Now they'll continue to cook a bit. But what you want to do is let that cool down and let those crabs you want to let it cool down and let all them crabs sink, because when they sink it means they've soaked up all of the juices, and that's going to get all up into their meat. Everything you want it to be in. They got what people call fat in there in crabs. It's not really fat. It's more or less the stuff they've eaten and processed, and their eggs and stuff like that in there. And a lot of people eat that. I like to eat that. I'll show it to y'all when I come across it. Having one of the sausages, and they need to absorb some of that boil too, but I can tell you that's just regular sausage, but it's now hot sausage. Ooh, it's good. They've sunk, so now I'm gonna scoop them out, y'all. Actually, I'm gonna pick them out with this. Alright, everybody, when cleaning a crab, there's no right or wrong way of doing it, and there's several different ways to attack this. So if you're eating them and you're just eating boiled crabs, you would do this and eat the meat as you go along, but I'm gonna pick and save the meat. Sometimes if you get lucky, you can pull the meat out with some of these paws. Like, see how that one came out? That was nice. And then pull that out. So These are worthless. These have a little meat in them. And then I go ahead and pop that off. Ooh, look, that's good. I get the dead men off. That's the gills. They call it the dead men. Don't know why they call it the dead men, but that's the dead men. Alright, and for me, I'll just get the face of that crab off right there. You can use a little serrated knife like this. Works pretty good. I cut that off. And then you flip it to where the front is right there. And you just kind of cut like that. And you'll have this big old perfect thing of meat. And you just pick that out of there. There's some other shells. That's what's called the lump meat right there. Right there. That's all kind of lump meat. See how you pull that out of there? And then I like to kind of pop that shell right there like that. And you can work that meat out of there. Each one of those individual cells they have of cells of shells. And if you have a little pecan picker, you can kind of work that out of there. And I try and get as much meat as I can, but right now it's particularly important because I need to save as much of this as I can for those crab cakes, because this is not a whole lot of crabs, but I'm gonna maximize everything by making crab cakes with the meat. So you can kind of fish that meat out of there. Oh, I hear my little kitty cat knocking at the door. Alright. You see how clean I've gotten that? That's pretty much all the meat. Now I can come here and try and fish some of this out of that part I cut off. There is a little meat on there, but I've found that's a lot of work for not a terribly good return. Well, there's a pretty good chunk. I'll try and fish some of that out of there, since I'm trying to, like I said, maximize what I can get. Alright, y'all, I pretty much got everything I think I can get out of this one crab. Alright. It don't look like much, but that's what I got out of that one crab. I'm going to continue on with these. Oh, I still have the claws to get. So, usually with the claws, I have what's called, you use pecan crackers. But I brought crabs up for my daughter over there in Ocala, where she's at, we're riding them horses. She wanted some crabs, so I brought the pecan crackers up there, and I let them keep them so they could, because they had crabs that I left over there. So you can just use a little butter knife and get a little crack on that shell. And you kind of pull that out like that gently. And you can basically get the whole claw meat out of there. If you don't get every little last bit of it, it's okay, but there's the last little bit. So that's how you do claws. Look, and here's the back part of the claw. You just gotta tap it enough to get a crack. And you can basically just pull that meat out of there. See that meat? That's claw meat. Good stuff. I think that's my wife's favorite. A little bit too hard. So, yeah. If you go hard like that, the butter knife comes in handy. You just send it in under there and you pull it out like that. So you come in here, send it in there, and just kind of pull it out. There you go. So that's how you do a crab. That's how I do it. Not everybody does them the same. Pull that claw meat out of there. Look how pretty that is. See that pretty claw meat? Alright, I'm gonna roll with it now. Big old piece of meat came out on that one. Okay, so we got all of this scraps here, and from all of this we got that one bowl of crab meat. Beautiful, beautiful crab meat. Beautiful. And all those crabs are picked. Okay, y'all, I'm gonna chop up some parsley from out the garden, some green onions out the garden, some garlic, some onions, some celery, some bell pepper. That's the fresh crab meat. I'm gonna put that in the refrigerator for right now so it don't spoil. Alright, everything's chopped. And I went get a thing of mayonnaise out of the storage. So next step is to saute. And we melt a stick of butter. Right there. Alright, we got that butter nice and heated and melted. So we add chopped seasonings, onions, minced garlic right here, bell pepper right here, and celery. So that's onion, bell pepper, garlic, and celery. Saute that down for a little bit. You don't want to overcook this. Alright, turn that off. And I'm going to put it right here. Get it off the fire. While that's cooling down, I'm going to go ahead and put some ingredients in this bowl that we're going to mix all together to make our crab cakes. Alright, there's some of the ingredients right there. Notice I took out breadcrumb, Dijon mustard, Worcestershire sauce, some Old Bay seasoning. You could probably use any kind of seasoning mix. An egg, a lemon, some mayonnaise. Put all of that in here. We're going to mix everything together. Start off I'm gonna put chopped green onion and chopped parsley. I'm gonna squeeze the juice of 1 lemon. Now watch, get those seeds out of there. Alright, I squeezed another 1 lemon in there. I'm gonna put about a cup of breadcrumbs. Italian style breadcrumbs. Put about a cup of that. I like to put a little extra actually. I think that's about a cup and a half. Take 1 egg, straight out the coop. Put about 2 tablespoons of this Old Bay McCormick seasoning. I just sprinkle some in there till I think it's about right. This Old Bay, it smells good. That's about it. Put a good squirt of this Dijon mustard in there. Put some Worcestershire sauce in there. And then finally put some mayonnaise in there. About that much. Good spoonful. Now I'm gonna season it up with a few more things. Put a little granulated garlic. Just a little bit. I'm gonna put a little cayenne red pepper. Not too much, just a little. Put some Himalayan pink salt. So this is the first salt I caught there, I grabbed. Alrighty. A little black pepper. I like to use Louisiana hot. Take some hot sauce. Put a couple splashes and dashes in there. Now y'all, I'm gonna tell you this. Alright, what I want to tell y'all is I didn't invent this recipe. This is a recipe that I've gotten out of a book that's called, what's the name of that book? It's a John False. It's called After the Hunt. And this is a recipe that's like crab cakes Rex. So it's a different version of crab cakes. It's a lot more, not a lot more, but it's a bit more complex than what you can traditionally make this. You don't have to add all these ingredients to really go over the top. You could just do crab meat, eggs, a little breadcrumb for binder, and a couple little seasonings. But this is a really good, very flavorful way to make crab cakes. So I'm bringing it to y'all, and I got it out the recipe. A recipe from John False, his book called After the Hunt. I highly recommend you buy this book. Any of his cookbooks are phenomenal. He is an incredible chef. I try and mimic him. His way of cooking is how my family brought me up cooking. And when I found him, I started looking at his recipes. It just clicked to watch and see him cook. Him, Justin Wilson, those are my 2 favorites. I do like some of the stuff from Emerald, and I like Chef Paul Prudhomme. I like all his stuff too. But Chef John Foles and Chef Justin Wilson, those are the two premier. If you're gonna find recipes to do something that you want to do that taste good. So I'm gonna get back to the recipe and we're gonna mix this up. So I'm gonna mix all of this in. Alright, I'm going to take the sauteed vegetables and I'm going to put them in there too. Okay, mix them in. Just a cornucopia of seasonings you got there. That's beautiful. Oh yeah. Oh, and the smell. So aromatic. Really delicious smell. Okay, y'all. Here comes the all important part of this recipe. The crab meat. The way you do this is you gently fold that in there. You put it in there, you bring it like that, and just dump it in there. You gotta fold it in nice and easy. Go ahead and bring it on in there. All that delicious crab meat that we worked so hard on peeling to catch it. Caught today. Caught today. Peeled today. Cooked and boiled today. We barrel that up. Alright. That. You don't want to pulverize your crab meat. You just want to fold it in there. Alright. Now, wash your hands again. Alright, y'all. I'm going to take a cookie sheet, cookie pan. And I'm going to go ahead and make the cakes themselves now. Now, what you do is you lightly toast, lightly top them with some breadcrumb. Like so. And put them to cooling. Here's some extra paper, so I gotta just kind of get that out of the way. And you put that in the refrigerator. I got to find a place for it. Go ahead and put it in there, right here. You got to put it in there for an hour. All right, y'all. The recipe calls to fry this in vegetable oil. I'd rather use a little butter, half a stick of butter, and maybe some canola oil. I'm not a big fan of vegetable oil by any means, and I know a lot of people have their hang-ups about canola oil, but I just find it a better alternative. So I'm gonna do butter and canola oil to fry them. Be back in a bit. I got the fire on, the butter melting, do a little bit canola oil, just a little bit. One of my people that I love watching, and he's a very professional outdoorsman, a very high regarded professional outdoorsman in Louisiana, is Todd Masson, Marshman Masson. I've been following his career since, shoot, we were both probably around the same age, and I've been following him since I was in my 20s, and he was probably in his 20s. He was with Louisiana Sportsman. I haven't always seen eye to eye with him and his views, and that's just the way it'll be. You know, people don't always see eye to eye, but for the most part, I respect a lot of what he does, a lot of what he is about. And me and him, it's almost like when I see him doing things, I'm like, wow, okay. We must have come up not too far from the same place, you know. I know I came up in the river parishes, hunting, fishing, learning how to cook in that area. I find him a lot of the same ways. So what I was getting at is he cooks with tallow, and I like to do a lot with butter, but tallow and butter on the same scale is pretty similar to use, but I think I'm gonna try the tallow, the beef. I think that's beef fat. I'm not 100% sure, but lard, stuff like that to cook with probably be a good alternative to some of these vegetable oil. And one thing he did say that I saw was he likes cooking with the liquid crab oil. That's a unique thing. Not a lot of people out here like the powdered crab oil, but I, like him, I'm a liquid crab oil purist. I mean, I would know how to do it with the powdered crab oil, but I don't like it as much. So it's about time to take these crab cakes out of the refrigerator. It's been well over an hour. There they are in all that glory, and boy, they are beautiful, and they smell wonderful. Very beautiful aroma, very mouth-watering. I'm gonna go ahead and fry these up right now. I'll kind of drag them through a little bit of that extra, get on the bottom. Turn that heat up a little bit. I want it a little bit hotter than that. You don't want to fry them for too long. Just enough to really get the heat through them and get a good color on them. Crab meat's cooked. You just got to cook the stuff like the egg and stuff in there. Ooh-wee. It's kind of falling apart a little bit. Alright, that happens. When you got so much crab in them, that's what happens. A little bit more canola oil. I would make the homemade remoulade sauce to go with this, but my wife is on her way home and she's gonna pick up some sauce called Cousin. I'll show you what it is. What's this? It tastes just like a remoulade sauce to us, so we're gonna put that on there. It's a salad dressing, but boy, that stuff is good. Yes, it is. Done. Ooh-wee. I'm just gonna start over with everything. My whole catch, clean, and cook. Gotta have the salad. And this is that Cousin salad dressing. This is good remoulade sauce too.
So just take them from here.
Whichever ones you want. They're all the same pretty much. How's it taste?
Crab meat's delicious.
I'm going to give one taste so I can finish this video off, so I can say whether or not it's good or not. That's good. You do a little taste and
No.
tell me what you feel.
No, I don't want to. I don't want to do that on camera. I just want to enjoy my meal. I know I'm going to like it. You want me to do the same thing?
Yeah. All right. Those things are delicious. Wow. All right. End of the day.